FortiOS 6.4.2 now includes detachable CLI console windows. Let's take a look. You can run a long-running command like diag_sys_top. You can then minimize the window to a tab at the bottom of the screen and open another one to run a different command without interrupting the first one. You can then minimize that one to keep a console handy and still open the first one if you want to see the state of that command. The Edit in CLI shortcuts also now open a detachable window, allowing you to stay in the current context and switch back and forth between different features as you need them. FortiOS CLI console windows now also have the ability to record commands typed in them. Let's see an example of how that works. Open a CLI console window as usual. To start recording, click the circle icon in the menu bar. Type the command or commands you want recorded. Click the record icon again to copy the commands to your clipboard. To use the recorded text, just paste it into a text box like any other copied text. In this example, we'll paste the text into an automation script text box and then change it to use a substitution code. Email alert automation is no longer in the Advanced menu. It can now be found as part of the Automation system. To use it, open the Automation list, then click Create New. Give your automation stitch a name. In the Trigger section, click FortiOS Event Log and choose the event that you want to trigger the email. Then, in the Action section, click Email and fill in the fields as desired. Now you aren't restricted to using email. You can run a CLI script, trigger a cloud function, or even generate a FortiExplorer notification. Uploading CLI scripts is no longer on the Systems Advanced page. It can now be found in the Administrator menu on the FortiOS header bar, under Configuration. Another item that has changed in FortiOS 6.4.2 is Fabric connectors. We'll demonstrate a few of the new features with this example. Here's a FortiGate that should be in a security fabric, but its fabric connection is disabled and it hasn't been authorized by the root FortiGate. When you open up the Fabric Connectors page, you can see that it has a clean new look. First, we go into the Security Fabric setup and enable it. Fill in the required settings, like name and upstream IP, and click OK. We can see in the upper right-hand corner that the FortiGate is now pending authorization. So, we click the button marked Review Authorization on Root FortiGate, which opens a new window where you can log in to the Fortinet Security Fabric. For this part, you do need administrative credentials on the root FortiGate. This shows us a list of all of the devices that are waiting to be authorized. We can look at each one to decide if we want to authorize it now or leave it until later. Once we've clicked OK here, the window closes and the fabric status in our FortiGate automatically updates to Authorized. In FortiOS 6.4.2, we've also added more controls for diagnostics and tools. You may already be familiar with this for FortiAPs, how you can access the diagnostics and tools either by hovering over the AP serial number, anywhere you see it in the system, or by right-clicking on the item, or by editing the item, and clicking the button at the right of the dialog. This dialog gives you access to tools you can use to control the AP, as well as diagnostic information about it, in case you need to look into any network issues. You can even see a list of the AP's connected Wi-Fi clients. You can also access the diagnostics and tools for Wi-Fi clients from their own list in the main menu. We've added diagnostics and tools for other devices as well, such as FortiSwitch. As with FortiAPs, you can access it from the FortiSwitch dialog, or by right-clicking on the item in the list, or by hovering over the device's serial number anywhere you see it. The dialog provides several control tools and a rich set of diagnostic information for checking into just about any situation. Diagnostics and tools are also available for FortiExtenders. You'll notice that in FortiOS 6.4, we've given a new look to the event log page. We've added highly visible cards so you can easily find what you're looking for. And once you're viewing the logs, you don't have to come back out to the event log page to see a different list. Simply click on the drop-down in the menu bar and select a different log type to view those logs immediately. We've added easier ways to see information you need when doing configuration in various FortiOS dialogues. For instance, in threat feeds, you can view the threat entries by going to the Feed object and clicking the View Entries button in the information panel on the right. You can also see the entries by hovering over the card in the Threat Feed list and clicking the button in the tooltip that pops up. On the DNS page, you can view the status of any DNS server or DNS filter server by hovering over the entry in the information panel. And we've added traffic volume data for several services to the information panel on the FortiGuard screen. When you're looking at a list of objects, if there's a referenced object you want to take a closer look at, or even configure, you don't have to navigate to its page anymore. Just hover over the object's name, and when the tooltip comes up, click the Edit button. The object dialog will slide in for you to take a look at and make any changes you need. In past versions of FortiOS, in order to configure downstream devices, you'd have had to open a new browser tab and log into the device. Now, some configuration can be done directly from the root device using the Security Fabric widget in your dashboard. Simply hover over the device you want to configure. Then, in the tooltip that comes up, click the Configure button. Enter fields like the hostname and SAML settings as required, and click OK. Now, Firewall Policies handle both IPv4 and IPv6 in the same object. When you create a policy, you can include both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses when adding your source and destination. Note that traffic is only forwarded for matching IP types. A NAT4.6 or 6.4 policy is still required to forward traffic between IPv4 and v6. We've added aggregate data charts to the Wi-Fi client page. In environments with many clients, you can see at a glance how many have strong, medium, or weak signals, what frequency band, and which Wi-Fi protocol they're using. If you want to examine a particular set of devices in more detail, click on a segment of the chart to filter for that group. To clear the filter, just click on the bar that appears at the top of the chart. Thank you for watching. For more technical videos, visit video.fortinet.com.